As you may know, the world's most notorious police impersonator, Jeremy Charles Dewitte of Central Florida, has a number of criminal proceedings going against him right now, both in Orange County, both in Osceola County, and both in federal court now. What is currently the most interesting is the federal court case, because that just recently popped up on everybody's radar. Jeremy Dewitte has been accused of making false statements on his tax returns. They asked him to clarify and take care of the discrepancies. He refused. He ignored. They came to his door. They asked him again very nicely. They said there's going to be a grand jury. If he doesn't take care of it, he didn't take care of it. Grand jury went ahead, and a federal case was filed against him in March of 2024. He had an initial appearance in arraignment at the Middle District Orlando Federal Courthouse on April 10th. He didn't show up. He was a no-show. So they rescheduled it to April 11th and made sure that he knew about it, so there was no excuse. Unfortunately, on April 11th, he didn't show up, and that's where we're at now. Now, I had a whole nice video put together for you because the U.S. Marshals were about to be looking for him. They were dispatched because a federal warrant was issued against Jeremy Dewitte. But I had to scrap that whole video because yesterday, April 11th, in the evening, Jeremy Dewitte was taken into custody in the Osceola County Sheriff's Department. Now he is in the Osceola County Jail, is what I mean to say. Now, typically what happens when a federal judge issues a bench warrant against somebody, the U.S. Marshal Service is dispatched to arrest that person. And in Jeremy Dewitte's case, they would have arrested him at his home and then taken him to the Osceola County Jail to spend his time there until it's time to go see that federal judge. Now, they don't keep him in jail for long like this. He's got to see that federal judge, the initial appearance, right away. So that'll probably be happening this morning, which I'll be updating you guys on later today. They should move fairly quickly on this. They should take him to the initial appearance, which may be going on right now, and then do an arraignment immediately. Normally they would discuss whether they're going to issue him bond, but since he was a no-show, it's really going to depend on what excuses he's going to give. I know last night he was practicing his excuses in the jail cell at the Osceola County Jail. He was trying out a bunch of different excuses, from his daughter was sick to his wife had an emergency. He tried some COVID excuses, but the one that he thinks is the best is the one where he says that he was confused on the dates. He was saying that he thought it was the 10th, but then they changed it to the 11th, but then it was the 10th, and he tried to call the court to verify it, but they weren't answering. They put him on hold. He called his attorney, but his attorney, his public defender, couldn't call him back right away. So he was confused. He couldn't go down there because he's not allowed to drive. He tried to call for an Uber, but his phone wasn't working. He's going to tell the judge he's so sorry and he will never do that again, and that he always shows up for court. He was practicing this. He has a speech that he's been practicing in the mirror. Is he going to use it when he's in front of Judge Embry J. Kidd today? We are going to see. Now, he does have a court date already with the state, with the county, on next Monday, April 15th. So he's going to be in court already for his failure to register as a sexual offender already on April 15th. Will they hold him over the weekend for that and for the remainder of his federal trial? Because his federal trial, they say, is going to take about 4 days. Will they issue a bond today so he can be on pre-trial release throughout the remainder of the trial? I don't know. He may have screwed it up with this whole not showing up. He's really going to have to give the judge his best excuses, and she'll probably fall for it because she hasn't dealt with Jeremy. Hopefully she's been watching the Jeremy Dewitte Show right here on YouTube. Now, I did hear a rumor, and I have not confirmed if this is true or not, that one of the reasons that Jeremy Dewitte did not turn himself in is because he was locked in the trunk of his wife's car, and she had actually gone to work, so he was actually sitting at her work locked in the trunk, and he said he didn't know how to use the emergency trunk release lever. And so there he sat for a day and a half, he said. I don't know if this is true. Some people say he was trying to hide there from the U.S. Marshals, and that's where they found him. Rania says she doesn't even know that he was there. She just got up and went to work. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered. One of the answers that we already have is, what did Jeremy Dewitte eat before he got arrested? And it's actually an interesting story because Rania was actually going to go grocery shopping Thursday night, but then Jeremy got arrested. She still went grocery shopping, but she was going to get fresher food. Jeremy Dewitte actually made a frozen macaroni and cheese dish made by Stouffer's. He was going to give it to his daughter, but he actually ate it himself. I'm not allowed to tell you how I know this, but you know I always give you the facts right here on the Jeremy Dewitte Show, right here on YouTube, exclusively on YouTube, no doubt. Well, Holly, and God bless Susan Wojcicki. Hopefully she's doing well. You know, Susan Wojcicki, the former CEO of YouTube, she used to battle back and forth with PoliceTube. She recently retired from YouTube, by the way, and she had a tragedy happen in her life. Hopefully she's healing from that. Susan Wojcicki, where art thou, the queen of YouTube? Okay, what we are going to be doing is following up on the Jeremy Dewitte criminal procedures that's going on in federal court. We're going to be letting you know about that later today, probably. And then again on Monday, Becchia will be reporting on the Osceola trial. And then, as you know, he has another Orange County trial coming up in June. 2 counties, 1 federal. Everybody's looking for this guy. So stay right here on the Jeremy Dewitte Show, and we will keep you updated with everything that's going on. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a good F-BOI Friday. And as always, have yourself a good day.